What is Andrew Wiggins giving you guys defensively right now?
He's been amazing. He's taking the challenges, one-on-one defense. Being able to be physical, use his length, just make guys work. You had a pretty good run, these last 3 games with Kawhi and PG and Pascal Siakam, the whole lineup basically. We were switching a lot of things tonight. So him and Kelly have been amazing in terms of using their length and inside out, giving their presence and taking on that responsibility, and it's been awesome.
Steph, when the season started, did you think that you guys could win a game in which you shot 2 of 16?
Well, I never thought I'd go 2 of 16, so I never even thought about that.
How much confidence does it give you that you found a way to win, even though you went 2 for 16?
It means obviously we're moving in the right direction. And my offense is, I expect it to be there every night. And, obviously with how teams are defending, night to night, being able to figure that out. But in terms of us just having confidence across the board, no matter who's out there on the floor, I like where we're at right now in terms of, guys stepping up, us staying within ourselves, finding, different ways to execute on that end of the floor. But we don't win a game like this. Forget my shooting. We don't forget a game like this, or we don't win a game like this, without our defense taking strides in the right direction. And we all, understood that tonight, and definitely, that won us the game with how ugly that second half was on the offensive end.
The most aggressive.
Was that the most aggressive the team has been against you defensively, and do you anticipate seeing more of that?
No, but they have a personnel that they can switch a lot, and they have a lot of length and speed that even different than the Clippers. Just finding ways to try to clog driving lanes and get guys outside the three-point line. I missed some easy ones throughout the game, but they did a great job, setting bodies. And like I said, it's a step in the right direction when, I can get that much attention and, other guys can knock down shots and be aggressive and find their lanes and their opportunities. And, we don't really miss a beat. So it's a really good sign for us.
Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area Telemundo. What does Fred VanVleet do on defense that the untrained eye wouldn't see on a TV screen? What does he do that's so tough on defense?
I mean, he's just solid, but they have a scheme that he knows he can be aggressive because there's going to be somebody behind him and, another guy, pulling in. And like I said, they have pretty good speed and length across the board, so he knows he can be aggressive on the ball, try to stay body tight. Different scenarios that would work to my advantage, but if you have, a bunch of guys locked in, then, it makes a difference. But, again, I think besides a couple missed shots and, whatnot, we got the ball moving pretty well, especially in the first half, and it made them pay for, their aggressiveness. And then the second half, it kind of slowed down a little bit. They got started pressuring and doing a lot of things that kind of made us rush a little bit, but we kind of withstood it, and obviously you got to take a win, no matter how you can get it.
Is this team getting better at leveraging those 4-on-3 opportunities you create when you kind of pass away from it?
Yeah, because we're starting to see the picture a little bit better and find our spacing, and obviously with Draymond back, he's a master at taking advantage of those opportunities. He's gotten a couple layups, got a couple lobs to Wise. He's gotten a couple kickouts to the corner. Kelly hit a big one tonight off a similar situation. So I think that was with Wiggs and Draymond in a pick and roll, and my guy stayed tight to me, and Kelly was open in the corner. So little plays like that give us a good flow, and you take advantage of teams' aggressiveness on the pick and roll.
Hi, Steph, Jean McCauley from AP. To get to 24-second violations against him. I mean, what does that say about the energy you guys are bringing on defense for the full shot clock, and how much work you're doing on that end? Just, you had one in the third and a key one in the fourth as well.
It's not giving up on plays, scrapping, being multiple efforts. We talked about that, especially trying to defend the three-point line. Did a better job today. I mean, they're still kind of average at 34%, but we were flying around, and they have a very interesting lineup where pretty much at all times all five guys can either space the three or put it on the floor and get driving kicks going, and they're pretty crafty at trying to draw fouls. So all those things kind of taken into consideration, it's really, really solid effort to just make them work every possession and finish it with a rebound. So they test you when they have that lineup out there because there's so much space.
Hello, Steph. I would like to ask you how proud you feel about your teammates' effort on defense, and what it means this win about your identity as a team on defensive end.
We're finding our consistency night after night, and no matter what configuration of guys we have out there, our communication's getting better, our discipline's getting better. We obviously have to still be mindful of fouling too much and giving up offensive rebounds, but like it's kind of the earlier question, guys are taking the one-on-one challenge. Most possessions, we have help in the right position. And even our younger guys are starting to kind of see how they can be impactful on that end of the floor. So a lot of good things. And we understand if we're going to be good, especially if we don't have a great shooting night, that we can stay in games with our defense.
Steve in the pregame alluded to a Drake story that he fined him $500 for getting on the plane. Can you tell us that version of the story about you, Drake, and Draymond?
I mean, he pretty much told all of it. We got stuck in the Oracle parking lot. I don't remember what year this was, probably 16, 17, or 17, 18, one or two. Headed to L.A. on a back-to-back, and me and Draymond were definitely late, just chopping up with Drake in the parking lot. But I think he put it in a song, him taking the team plane from Oracle. I don't remember what song it is. It's in there, though. He talked about it.
Quick follow-up. There's been obviously coronavirus issues across the country, across the league right now. Teams are shut down. Obviously, your brother, it was announced, had it. How uneasy a situation is it right now trying to navigate?
It's tough because everything can be going right, and like with Philly and starting the season strong. I think they were 7-1 at one point. My brother gets it, and then they're having to kind of reel just to field 8 guys on the court. And so we obviously knew coming into the season it was going to be a situation where you had to be prepared for anything. We're taking obviously all our precautions and the protocols, and guys are doing everything they can to stay safe, and our families and everybody that's around our organization. So doing everything that we can to keep things going in the right direction. But some things are out of your control, and you just have to be kind of ready for anything at this point. So it's a very interesting kind of predicament when you're trying to stay in the moment and get ready for games and practices and all that, and then you kind of see stuff pop up news-wise across the league. So you just got to be ready for everything and do what you can to stay safe.
Kylie with Crown 4. I know you talked about defense keeping you guys in games, but what about the production from your bench? How important has that been in the team's success? 46 points tonight off the bench, and does that take any pressure off of you when you're having an off shooting night to know there are so many other guys who will step up, like we've seen Damian do night after night, and Eric Pascal's had some huge nights. How important do you think that is?
I mean, it's huge across the 72-game season. You have to have contributions from everybody, and everybody has to be ready to step into those roles. So I think earlier in the season, it's only been 10 games, but we were struggling to find rotation, and guys were kind of just kind of figuring it out when they were going to play, who they're going to be playing with, because we were all so new. And that's you're starting to see some consistency there, and guys are understanding how they're going to be successful on both ends of the floor with who they're out there with, and that gives you confidence, and then hopefully you start to produce. So like you said, with EP, he's been unbelievable. This homestand, D. Lee, Brad's moving in the right direction, finding his niche with that second unit. Obviously, Bays coming off that road trip and not playing, he stayed ready as a true professional. So, up and down, the roster, and Mike coming in being ready to shoot and contribute and space the floor. Guys have confidence, understand what they're supposed to do, and buying into their roles, and it makes us a better team.
When you have a night like
Last
tonight,
question.
Nothing seems to go in, which have been rare in your career. Do you make a shift in your approach? Do you just play your game and it'll figure itself out at some point? Do you make a conscious effort to pass the ball or to go to the rim first? What did you go through?
I've shot 0 for 11 one time and 1 for 10 and all everywhere in between. So mostly it's just keep shooting, and then eventually it'll find its way. I think you kind of have to stay engaged on other parts of the game. Obviously, defensively, trying to get rebounds, be decoy sometimes if necessary. It's a lot of different ways that you can still be impactful if you're not shooting, but at the end of the day, just keep shooting. I'm not worried about that at all.